Welcome to From a Musician's Perspective, a video series where we share pieces of knowledge from our journey in music. My name is Cael Sullivan. I play violin in ESYO Symphony Orchestra, and in this video we are going to talk about how we can incorporate practicing into our busy lives. Many musicians are challenged by the amount of work we give ourselves by choosing to play many pieces or balance extracurriculars, such as sports or clubs we also find ourselves pursuing. In this video, I will give you some tips and strategies on how to plan to practice your music and stay organized with pieces you choose to learn amidst a hectic schedule. Finding time to practice my pieces is really important, not only in order to play the piece successfully and confidently, but finding time to equally practice your multiple goals. Tip number 1, set goals for yourself. When you have a busy schedule, it's always important to take into account goals you want to achieve in the future. This is always helpful to do while practicing, whether that be learning solo pieces, ensemble work, auditions, chamber music, or any other goal that involves practice and time. Tip number 2, block out commitments. Make sure to set out definite groups or activities you would like to participate in, and certain pieces you feel especially excited to play. A personal example of mine is my solo violin piece, where I focused a lot of my practice time in proportion to a selection for an ensemble that I was working with. When doing so, make sure to still set aside time to work on your multiple goals, but be aware of the time you have to practice a piece. Make sure to do this weekly. Take into account changes in schedule, schooling, lessons, concerts, and change accordingly. Tip number 3, organize your schedule. One of the most helpful things for me to do is to write down any commitments I have on a given day and come up with a plan. Organizing your time using tools like planners are really helpful for when you want to chunk out areas for practice, when you have activities like homework and extracurriculars that you're involved in. It's nice to stay on track for an entire week. Using a calendar to write down important events such as concerts, testing, birthdays, or even recurring events can give you a sense of where to schedule your practicing. Tip number 4, practice efficiently. Always adjust your goals when playing music. Make sure to have a goal in mind before you dive into practice, and make sure you stay focused while playing. Instead of targeting an intimidating larger portion of a piece with such limited time, break difficult passages into sections for practice and condense practicing into blocks bit by bit. Instead of trying to take on a difficult passage all at once and failing, breaking up the passage allows me to stay more efficient overall. Practice certain sections at a slower tempo and strengthen a movement of the piece, or if you're struggling for time, half of a page, etc. If you don't have much time, try practicing for 20 minutes and work on refreshing parts of a piece that you've neglected. Personally, I like to keep a journal of goals I would like to reach, may that be involving tempo, intonation, or getting past a hard run in a section. Tip number 5, multitasking. Learning music isn't always about practicing. Try listening to a piece in the car while driving somewhere and look at the music. Develop a sense of what themes are conveyed in the piece and translate that into the sheet music. I oftentimes listen to a recording of music when I'm struggling to time a run or to hear how multiple instruments relate with each other. This helps a lot with ensemble work, especially when trying to learn more exposed parts such as pieces with quartets. Tip number 6, set reachable goals. Make sure you take into account how much you would like to achieve. It's very difficult when you give yourself unreasonable goals. Try to space out goals you want to achieve. You don't always have to be practicing. Be aware to give yourself breaks. Leave time to rest, relax, work on hobbies, or even spend time with friends. Make sure to enjoy what you're playing, and make yourself comfortable by doing so. Pick the pieces you want to learn and focus your energy that way. It makes the process much easier and enjoyable. Just make sure you feel confident with what you end up wanting to play. In conclusion, to quickly sum everything up, number 1, set goals for yourself. Number 2, block out commitments. Number 3, organize your schedule. Number 4, practice efficiently. Number 5, multitask. And number 6, set reachable goals. Check out other videos made by fellow musicians in ESYO to see their perspectives into music as well. Be sure to also follow ESYO's social media pages and YouTube channel to see what we are up to. But until next time, take care and thank you for watching.